One. Today we're talking about a deep philosophical topic that might seem provocative to some: antinatalism. This is an ethical philosophy that gives a negative value to birth and asks the question, is it ethical to bring new people into the world? Unlike the common assumption that having children is naturally good, antinatalism offers a different perspective worth careful study. Let's explore how this philosophy has evolved and what ethical frameworks contemporary thinkers use to support or challenge its arguments. Historical roots. Ideas opposing reproduction might be as old as philosophical thinking itself. Recent studies suggest that anti-birth sentiments may have existed as intuitive responses to suffering long before their systematic philosophical formulation. But an important development came with Shiffrin's work, 1999, which distinguished between harms that occur within life and the harm of coming into existence itself. She emphasized that creating new life necessarily involves imposing harm without prior consent, which represents a moral problem separate from the quality of life that is created. Core philosophical arguments. Antinatalism is based on several strong philosophical arguments. 1. The harm and suffering argument, proposed by philosopher David Benatar in his book Better Never to Have Been. This argument states that life inevitably contains suffering, and bringing someone into existence means exposing them to this suffering without their consent. The absence of pleasure for a non-existent person is not harmful, while the absence of pain is good. 2. The non-consent argument. It's impossible to get someone's consent before they are born. Therefore, bringing them into life represents an unethical imposition of a complete existential state upon them. 3. The environmental argument. Each new person contributes to increasing the environmental footprint and pressure on Earth's resources. In a world facing a climate crisis, having new children is considered an unsustainable decision. 4. The moral asymmetry argument. Philosopher Julio Cabrera believes there is a moral asymmetry between the decision to have children and not to have them. Not having children causes no harm to anyone, while having children may lead to potential suffering for a new person. Why do some people support this philosophy? People support antinatalism for several reasons. 1. Altruistic motivation. Their belief that avoiding bringing a new person into a world full of suffering is an act of compassion. 2. Environmental awareness. Concern about the environmental impacts of continued population growth. 3. Commitment to utilitarianism, the desire to reduce overall suffering in the world. 4. Justice considerations, the belief that the world is fundamentally unfair and it's unethical to force someone to participate in this system. 5. Philosophical rejection of the reproductive drive, questioning societal assumptions that consider reproduction necessarily good. Critical responses. Critics use different philosophical frameworks to respond to antinatalism. Smuts, 2013, provides a value-focused critique, arguing that a life worth living is one in which the good things outweigh the bad. Meanwhile, McMahon, 2013, examines antinatalism through the lens of person-affecting principles, noting that it cannot be better or worse for a person to exist than not to exist, creating a paradox for both pronatalists and antinatalists alike. Emerging trends